Fox 61 News at 5 starts now.
Right now at 5, a hot day across the state, and it's only going to get warmer. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank tracking how long this heat wave will last.
Plus, rising energy costs. United Illuminating looks to raise its prices. What this means for your bill coming up this hour.
It was, especially since I met the parents, and it's 100% real.
Alex Jones back on the stand today, why he's finally admitting that the Sandy Hook tragedy was real.
And Paige Becker is injured. More this hour on her injury and just how long she'll be sidelined this time.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We're tracking some extreme heat this week as we take a live look across the state. Mohegan Sun, Middletown, Hartford, and New Haven.
Yeah,
lots of sunshine out there.
Yeah, temperatures getting up to 90 and beyond today, and it's only going to get hotter. Let's send it right over to Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a look at what we can expect the rest of the week. Rach.
Yeah, 2 days up around 90 degrees, and we have another 2 days to go, and the hottest weather has yet to come for Thursday and Friday. And it's not just the temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 90s. It's also the humidity that will reach oppressive levels, really making it feel a little bit like the tropics and making the heat index, how hot it really feels when you factor in both the heat and the humidity, like the triple digits. So that's why there's a heat advisory in effect, not for today, which was a lot more manageable, but for the next couple of days, Thursday and Friday, just to warn people to take it easy outside, especially for people without air conditioning and for people that work outdoors too. Right now we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. The humidity is way down from where it was at this time yesterday, and no issues heading through the evening tonight regarding showers or thunderstorms. We're staying dry, although we'd probably have less issues if we had some rain because we need it. Heading through the course of the evening tonight, overnight lows in the 60s to right around 70 degrees, but it will be a good night to go for a walk, maybe a long walk with the dog, just before the extremely hotter temperatures arrive. Heading through the course of the day tomorrow, by lunchtime, temperatures are in the low 90s, and we're looking at high temperatures in the mid to upper 90s as we head through the afternoon. Again, a heat index up around triple digits, and high temperatures at the shoreline will be right around the 90-degree mark, so not as hot at the beaches as it will be inland, but still feeling like the triple digits even at the shore with that high humidity in place. Records could go down. We'll take a look at that and time out the chance for showers and storms later this week coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, even though many of Connecticut's coastal communities will not be getting quite as hot as towns inland, New Haven has decided to trigger its hot weather protocol out of an abundance of caution.
Fox 61's Tony Terzi joins us live from one of the popular spots in the city for those seeking relief. Tony, have you jumped in yet?
I'm still thinking about it, Sarah. I'm still thinking about it. We're here live at Lighthouse Point Park, where it's one of 14 sites around the city that has splash pads available to kids and kids at heart. Really, they're very refreshing. And the Long Island Sound is another 50 yards away. If you haven't been here, this is the place to be to cool off. While the heat is on across Connecticut over the next several days, the expected high temperatures in New Haven would not normally trigger the city's high heat protocols.
But because of the air quality that is particularly bad over this the rest of this week, we decided to implement our heat protocols.
And while the various city departments will check on those most at risk,
we also check on, we have a good number of encampments around the city where the unhoused live, and we regularly check on people there to make sure that they have support and resources.
As in most cities, all New Haven libraries are available as cooling systems. Keeping cool in all respects is important.
People get frustrated. We see a spike in domestic violence, shots fired, some stuff like that. So our message is, in these hot times, keep each other cool.
Yeah, in more ways than one. The chief said his officers often carry water with them as well.
Just on Sunday basketball games at New Hallville, my plainclothes officers actually decided to keep ice cold water on hand, and they hand it out to the players and all the people there.
And I think it's important to underscore that with this kind of heat that we're seeing, people could potentially die. So making sure that if you are a senior or if your family members are seniors or your neighbor is, just regularly check on them.
Okay, now I can't resist. I've got to try to keep the microphone dry, though. Let's see. See if I can dodge this one. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ha ha ha. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! Really not that bad. Does anybody have a towel? Woo! Back to you in Hartford.
All right.
My
Tony, thanks you. Tony, you got to bring your own towel, though. All right, boy, get ready to wipe the smiles off your faces because we have breaking news out of UConn right now, and it's heartbreaking. Paige Beckers, one of college basketball's biggest stars, will be sitting out the 2022-2023 season. The school reports the junior guard tore her anterior cruciate ligament, commonly known as her ACL, in her left knee on Monday. They say it happened during a pickup game, and she underwent an MRI Monday evening to confirm the injury. This is a developing story, and we'll go into everything this upsetting news means for UConn women's basketball coming up a little later in sports. Oh, boy, it hurts.
Yeah.
All right, United Illuminating is seeking an 8% rate increase over a 3-year period. The utility company planning on filing that request within the next 2 to 3 months.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us in studio to explain what this will mean for their customers and how they can save a few bucks. Carmen.
Brenda and Sarah, if UI's request is approved by PURA, the new rates would begin showing up on customers' bills after September 2023. And a program out of Hartford has tips on how their customers can conserve electricity.
UI serves over 300,000 customers in the Bridgeport and New Haven areas. Their corporate communications manager, Gage Frank, says their last distribution rate was in 2016 and have not increased since then. With inflation taken into account, the cost of doing business has increased over 7%. In a statement to Fox 61, he says, quote, "Our goal in this rate case is to spread the proposed total rate increase over 3 years at an average total bill increase of approximately 5% per year across all rate classes, which represents an increase that is less than the current rate of inflation. So for the average customer with a bill of $188, for example, they will see an increase of $9.69. An increase that Attorney General William Tong calls bad timing.
8%, in my view, is too much. It's too high. And we're going to scrutinize every basis for this request and every charge, every cost, every claimed expense.
Tong pointing to inflation and COVID-19 as struggles many are still going through.
The economic effects of the pandemic are still being felt by all Connecticut families.
The effects trickling down to the desk of Brenda Watson with Operation Fuel out of Hartford, an organization aimed at helping families struggling to pay energy and utility bills.
We have nearly 1,000 applications in our system since we opened on July 5th, and I've never seen it this high.
Watson offering these money-saving tips.
Remember to unplug chargers if you're not charging any of your devices. In the daytime, you can keep your blinds or curtains closed. That prevents solar heat from getting in and making your indoor environment a lot hotter. And try to wait until the evening hours to utilize your air conditioning systems.
If PURA does approve UI's rate increase that is set to take effect next year and you noticed any extra numbers on your bill, you can always contact Attorney General Tong, contact PURA or the Office of Consumer Counsel. And to file an application with Operation Fuel for assistance, we'll have a link for you on fox61.com. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
Thank you, Carmen. Well, a 24-year-old veteran of the Hamden Police Department is killed in a crash just 2 days after his retirement from the force. The Hamden Police Department released a statement offering their sympathies to the family of Officer Michael Pantera. They say he served his community with compassion and will be sorely missed. All flags in the town of Hamden will be lowered in his honor.
Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones testified earlier today in court that the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre was in fact 100% real. The InfoWars host went on to say that it was irresponsible of him to call it a hoax. He is currently in civil court in Austin, Texas, being sued by the parents of a 6-year-old boy who was killed in that attack in a defamation case stemming from him repeatedly saying that the attack was a hoax on his show.
It was, especially since I met the parents, and it's 100% real, as I said on the radio yesterday, and as I said here yesterday, it's 100% real.
Now, the parents are seeking at least $150 million, saying that their pain was made worse by Jones' insistence that the attack was a hoax. The radio host has already been found liable in other defamation suits in both Texas and here in Connecticut. With less than a week until the Connecticut primary, we're bringing you details of the biggest races.
Across the state's 5 U.S. House districts, only one of them will be on the ballot August 9th.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst tells us more about this lone Republican race. Emma.
That's right. Connecticut's 4th congressional district covers most of Fairfield and some of New Haven counties. Right now, the seat is held by Democrat incumbent Jim Himes, who's been in the position since 2009. All 5 of the state's current U.S. House reps are Democrats. The last Republican to serve in Congress, Chris Shays, lost to Himes in the 2008 election. Now, these 4th district Republican candidates are looking to break this blue streak.
The 2 GOP candidates vying for a spot on the ballot in November are Michael Goldstein and Jamie Stevenson. Stevenson, the endorsed party candidate, previously served as Darien's first select woman and appeared as a lieutenant governor candidate in the 2018 Republican primary.
If we keep electing the same leaders in Washington, you're going to get the same result. And I can tell you, every day we hear from people and business owners that they can't tolerate what's happening in America anymore.
Goldstein, a Greenwich resident and physician, has no prior political experience, but says he garnered support when he submitted a petition of around 2,000 signatures to make it on the ballot.
Since things are going in the wrong direction on a lot of things, I said, well, I've got 3 choices. I can complain, do nothing, or try to change things, and I decided to pick the last choice and actually run for office.
The two feel similarly about the economy, parents' rights, and making America energy independent.
If we can't control energy costs, it's going to be really hard to control inflation.
The United States needs to prioritize domestic manufacturing.
Both candidates also supporters of the Second Amendment, though Stevenson says she would have voted for the recent bipartisan Safer Communities Act, while Goldstein says no. Where Goldstein and Stevenson split, reproductive rights.
I believe it's a state issue, number one.
So you think the Supreme Court was correct in voting to overturn Roe?
I don't think returning power to the people is a harmful thing.
Would you call yourself pro-life?
I would call myself pro-life. However, I also believe that it's not my opinion that matters, it's the opinion of the people in this state. I mean, you can never impose your opinion on other people.
I believe that we need to continue the conversation at the federal level to correct that wrong. Women are the only class of people right now that have that medical inequality, and that's a real problem for me.
Would you vote to codify reproductive rights into federal law?
I likely would, because I believe strongly in women's rights.
I reached out to Representative Himes. His office told me he's traveling and unable to provide comment. To see more from both these interviews, visit our website, fox61.com. Live in the studio, Emma Wolfhorst, Fox 61 News.